Diving into FUTA. Here we go. Unemployment compensation is funded by the Federal Unemployment Tax Act. This is a U.S. federal program. It's going to provide temporary financial assistance to workers who have lost their jobs through no fault of their own. Like I said, we're going to see that. You see that term. Now, just keep in mind when you go for unemployment, you're going to the state. You become unemployed in Oklahoma, you go to Oklahoma. If you become unemployed in California, you go to California. Now, there are instances of federal unemployment. We had a virus pandemic a while back, and there was a lot of federal unemployment. So you could collect unemployment from your state as well as from the federal government. Now, how that worked was the federal government gave the money to the states to then give to the employees to just give to the workers of the state. So that's how it worked, because you do go through your state. So just that's how that works. But generally speaking, if that was when anyone experienced unemployment, generally speaking, it is through the state, and you only are going to receive state benefits. You're not going to receive federal benefits. That was a crazy wild time for many reasons, but just specifically, that is something that we will likely not see again. Hopefully, nothing warrants anything like that again. The program here is going to be designed to help unemployed individuals meet their basic needs while they search for new employment. A lot of times when you search for unemployment, you need to submit proof that you are looking for a new job. We'll see that generally unemployment is going to last for maybe a year at most. Totally depends. There's 50 states. I'm not going to get into the unemployment rules for all 50 states. The funds for unemployment compensation come from taxes paid by employers. So we see here that you as a worker, you're not paying into FUTA. This is tax paid by employers. So again, an additional amount paid by your employer to hire you. So you are worth more than that $75,000 a year paycheck. It costs them more than that to hire you. The employment insurance system is administered by states, not the federal government, as I mentioned. FUTA is a system to provide temporary help for about 1 year to employees. Again, I don't know the rules of every 50 of the states, so that may be different. The system is funded completely by employers with no employee contributions. Now, FUTA applies to all employers who either have a quarterly payroll of at least $1,500 or employ at least one person for 20 weeks in a calendar year. Basically, you see here, these are the two criteria. You meet one of them, you have to pay FUTA. The tax is paid solely by the employer and not withheld from the employee's paycheck. The FUTA tax rate is 6% on the first $7,000 of each employee's annual wages. So that's the most they're going to have to pay, is 6% on the first $7,000 of each of the wages. To emphasize, FUTA unemployment taxes are paid by the employer, not the employee. Just big difference, because FICA and FUTA, kind of sound the same, right? And these taxes, like all taxes, these are paid to the IRS, which then distributes the taxes to the proper governmental agencies. So like all taxes, whether it's sales tax, anything, the IRS collects them. Then the IRS gives it to, there's a million agencies and organizations out there in the government. They're going to then use them for whatever they need. The rationale here for FUTA, nothing groundbreaking here. You could probably figure this out yourself. It's to provide a financial support for workers during periods of unemployment, whether that's mass unemployment or just individual unemployment, helping to stabilize the economy and maintain that good old consumer spending, keeping that good old American economy running at full force. By offering temporary assistance, the program aims to prevent economic downturns from becoming more severe and to help workers transition to new jobs. A lot of times with unemployment services, a lot of this money will also go to job programs and basically helping people find other jobs, so they don't have to go through LinkedIn. Some people might not use LinkedIn. It's up to the government to help you a little bit there. But again, that does depend state to state. Let's see an example here of FUTA. Well, we've got an employer, XYZ Corporation. They have 10 employees. Each employee earns more than $7,000 per year. It doesn't really matter how much they earn, as long as you know it's more than $7,000. But XYZ Corporation's FUTA tax liability would be calculated as follows. We've got 6% on the max of $7,000. It's going to be $420 per employee. Since there are 10 employees, we're going to see $420 per employee times 10 employees. This is going to be $4,200. XYZ can deduct this $4,200 FUTA tax payment as an ordinary business expense, which is going to reduce its taxable income. If any of XYZ Corporation's employees lose their jobs through no fault of their own, they may be eligible to collect unemployment benefits, which are funded in part by the FUTA taxes paid by employers like XYZ Corporation. Again, another big pot of money. Kind of think of it like insurance. They're paying it to take care of these employees if they get fired. Now, if you get fired because you're not doing your job, there's a bunch of rules. In reality, it keeps saying no fault of your own. Each state has a bunch of different questions they'll ask you, a bunch of different rules, and maybe you're not eligible in one state, but you would have been in another state. It really just depends on the state. Let's see, we got a nice recap on FUTA. This applies to all employers who either have a quarterly payroll of $1,500 or employ at least one person for 20 weeks in a calendar year. Just make sure you're familiar with these. In a perfect world, I'd say, okay, absolutely memorize everything, tattoo them to your arm. Do not tattoo anything to your arm. If you get caught at the Prometric Center cheating, you will never be allowed to take this exam again. So please do not cheat. Also, you shouldn't be thinking of cheating. Just a PSA for everyone out there. If you thought what would happen, yeah, no, if you get caught, you are done. You are not getting back into this exam, and probably spent a lot of time, committed a lot. So do not get the boot. So employers can deduct FUTA tax payments as ordinary business expense. Employees can collect these unemployment benefits if they lose their job, such as a layoff or closure. Again, it's nothing too wild here. We're not going to need to know this for the exam. Unemployment benefits are not available for individuals who refuse to accept suitable work. So this is one thing I mentioned. They will also help you try to find a new job. And if you are eligible to work, if you're not injured, if you're able to work, and you refuse work that is available to you, you may not be able to continue to receive benefits. It's not a lifeline for you to live on this money forever. Self-employed persons do not participate in the FUTA system and are not eligible for unemployment benefits through the program. Employers pay for workers' comp coverage, which provides benefits for work-related injuries and illnesses by purchasing insurance from either the state or a private insurer. This coverage is separate from the FUTA unemployment system. We will see at workers' comp and dive into that more. Hey there! Are you ready to not only pass your CPA exams, but truly understand and enjoy the material while studying? I know it seems impossible, right? Especially to enjoy the material? We'll do it together. Tap into the power of CPA.examprep.ai, where we've got personalized quizzes, multiple choice questions, memorization guides, flashcards, simulations, all tailored to your learning. Our adaptive study planning puts you on the fastest path to success and lifts you back up if you fall behind. Avoid wasting your precious time and money attempting an exam with a low chance of passing, because who wants that? We want to get you through this process as quick as possible. Our exam readiness prediction lets you walk in with confidence, knowing that you're prepared for success on exam day. Thankfully, there's no payment method needed to get started, so why don't you come join us? Visit cpa.examprep.ai and let's achieve your exam success together.